Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live for the very last time in 2021. We are live from the 336 once again for the 73rd edition of the 815 Exchange. And well, I'm not going to sit here in the intro and be like, oh yeah, we got this, and this. It's very simple today. Very, very simple, And as you can tell, if you go to the description where you'll find timestamps and my social medias, if you want to follow me there. We got the NBA, we got the NFL, we got entertainment, which is really just me talking about The Witcher, and we got the Roundup, which is World Juniors and the College Football Playoff. Very easy, very quiet episode, very simple episode. Shouldn't be too long. But I say that, and then I turn around and I have a 15-minute podcast to, edit. So we'll see, but it shouldn't be too long. It's been a great year for the channel. Much appreciated of all the love. Remember to like, share, subscribe if you guys are enjoying the content. And marching closer to that 500 benchmark, which is good. I'm happy about that. Very, very happy. It's been a year. It's the first full year I've been doing YouTube, so it's been a journey. It's taught me a lot about patience and amongst other things 2021. But honestly, it's been a good year. It's been a good year for me. It's been a good year. Growing a lot, made a lot of new friends. Made necessary adjustments to my life, and 2022 is going to be. I can't say too much. 2022 is going to be. Y'all might want to stay tuned in for that. One. But hope you guys had a great year as well. But to get back on topic and get back into what we are here for on the A15 Exchange to do, and that's to talk about everything going on in sports and entertainment. Therefore, let's start with the NBA. We don't often start with the NBA, but as we only really have three major topics, and we always know entertainment goes in the middle, sandwiched in the middle. It's like our break between sports, It's like the cream in between the Oreo. We're going to start off with the NBA. Christmas Day games, as we know, even though the NFL decided to have two Christmas Day games, the NBA runs Christmas, right? The NFL runs Thanksgiving, the NBA is Christmas. You know how this goes, right? Couple games, I think there was 5 games on NBA Christmas. Three major storylines though branched off of 3 certain games, and probably the 3 bigger games of the day. I'll start off with Bucks and the Celtics. Bucks got the win over the Celtics. Giannis returned. 36, 12, and 5. The Greek Freak is back in full effect. Looked like Finals MVP Greek Freak. He's different. He's one of the 5 best players on the planet. Undisputably in my opinion. And him on that Bucks team just makes it different. It's why he's faced the franchise. It's why he's got the MVPs. It's why he's a future Hall of Famer at 26 already. So for the Celtics, it's just I don't know if it's ever gonna work. I love Jason Tatum, right? Duke fan. Love Tatum. I followed him throughout high school. I always knew he was going to be a star. He is a star. But I don't know if this Celtics team is ever going to get over that. They got the potential to. Because they got Tatum and JB. And in the big moments here, when they should have closed out the Bucks, the Celtics should have won this game. When they had an opportunity to close out this game, they disappeared. They were nowhere to be found. And it's happened too many times over the past couple of years for the Celtics as this team has grown and now into what they are. I don't know if I believe that they have the capabilities to finish the job, to get over that hump, to become amongst the elite in the NBA. I don't. Tatum shot horribly. Brown shot horribly. Those are supposed to be the 2 guys, but they couldn't close the game. Couldn't close it. Couldn't close the show. That's what it is. For Tatum and being a fan, their sake, hope they get it together. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. Y'all can let me know how you feel about the C's. The Warriors and the Suns. Warriors got the win 116-107. Suns tried to make a little run at the end there, but it wasn't to be. Chef Curry was cooking 33 points. Honestly, and it felt kind of weird because I think he went like 5 for 16 from 3. So it wasn't his finest shooting night. And honestly, since he broke the record, it hasn't really been his finest shooting night, quote unquote. But Curry, 33, he was still a big reason. That just... They were able to exploit the Suns' defense because of the creativity and really just the style of offense they run with the cuts, the screens. The Suns, for whatever reason, they weren't able to adapt in this game, and the Warriors kept punishing them for easy buckets time after time after time after time after time. DeAndre Ayton also, I think, should have been fed the ball more. I think he went 8 for 10. He had 18 points, 7 rebounds. Warriors really had no answer for them. That's the one thing that the Warriors do not have, and that is a true center. They do not have a true center. I feel like we've said this before pertaining to this team. They don't have a true center. So going against great or very good big men could be an issue for the Warriors, and that could be their Achilles heel. You know, going against a dominant big man where they have no answer. As good as Draymond is defensively, he's not doing anything against, a truly elite big man, right? The size, skill difference is just going to be too much. So, Warriors will have to find a way to adapt to that in games where they can't just shoot their way or Chef just can't take over the game and save them. They're going to have to adapt to that. But in a game between the two best teams probably in the league, I think based off of record, or certainly the two best teams in the West, based off record and really off of play this year, Warriors get the dub. And yeah, we'll see what the dubs go from here. The Suns, I think they'll be all right. Gotta play better. Because it looks like they're going to have to go to the Warriors if they want to get back. But overall, not bad. And of course, to finish it off, we had the Nets and the Lakers. KD had COVID, so no KD, but it didn't matter because James Harden is back, ladies and gentlemen, for 36, 10, and 10. A 36-point triple-double for the Beard. Patty Mills as well. 34 points for Patty. I think he had 8 threes. They don't need Kyrie. Kyrie is, don't get me wrong, Kyrie, fine player. But, listen, I get what Kyrie's doing. I really do. I get it. But he's made himself expendable. If you're the Nets, he is trade bait. Because you have proven time after time after time again this season, you are perfectly fine without Kyrie Irving. He is not a major or an important piece to this puzzle. Y'all can contend for a championship without Kyrie Irving. He is unneeded. You don't need him. And really the only reason y'all brought him back was because half the team got COVID. And Patty Mills, continuing his FIBA Patty Mills form, has been a big reason why I've been able to say that and been able to do that. Patty was big in this game. Braun did everything. 39, 9, and 7. He was Braun, best player on the planet. He did what Braun does. But this Lakers team is garbage, bro. I'm gonna be honest. The Lakers are garbage. They're garbage. And it's not like it's like a surprise garbage. It's like we told you so garbage. If you were surprised by how bad the Lakers are, just look at the makeup of this team now. I don't know why. I will never understand why or what's the thought process behind. We have a championship contending team. The only reason we lost last year in the first round is because everybody was injured. And then we ran into a good Suns team that made the Western Conference Finals. And we were hurt. We weren't at full power. We got beat. You should have just said, all right, we got beat. It is what it is. Congrats to the Suns. We were dealt a bad hand. Let's come back this next season, run it back with the same group that won us a championship it wasn't even 2 years ago. It was literally almost a year ago because, the COVID and the bubble. But 2 years ago, technically, in terms of the season. 2 years ago, same group, won a championship. But no, because you got eliminated, because you were injured, and you lost to a good Suns team, it was time to blow it up. and just revamped this bench with worse players. And it wasn't like y'all revamped and rebuilt it with better players, with better talent. It was with worse talent. Worse players. The Lakers got worse this offseason. Russell Westbrook is a future Hall of Famer, phenomenal player, yada yada yada, superstar. He is a horrific fit for this Lakers team. He is a horrific fit. He is a horrific fit. The Lakers need shooters. You need to put shooters. We've said this for, 19 years now? 18 years with Bron? Put shooters around Bron and watch just the blossom. Just watch the blossom. Every championship contending team he's played on, he's got shooters. Simple makeup. You put shooters around one of the best playmakers to ever do it, profit. Space the floor. The Lakers have no floor spacing. Russell Westbrook, as great as he is, does not space the floor. He does not. Russ is at his best going downhill. And with your team makeup, because you really got no real shooters on that team, everybody's in the post anyway. Doesn't make it any easier. AD, I don't know what to say about AD. I really don't. When he's on, he's great. One of the best in the world. When he's off, oh dear God, he can't stay healthy. Bron has been above and beyond, per usual. But the rest of this team, THT clearly hasn't blossomed into what y'all thought he was. Malik Monk hasn't been back. I will give that to Monk. He hasn't been back. But the rest of this team makeup is awful. And now y'all picking up IT, which I get it, right? Y'all needed somebody, picked up IT, which I don't know. I don't know if he's ever going to reclaim that form, that magic he had for that year with the Celtics. I don't know if it's going to work on a championship winning team. I really don't. IT, great guy, but I don't know if it's going to work. Stanley Johnson's a great pickup for y'all because y'all need defense. Because y'all don't play defense, apparently. It's just... I would have never given up Caruso. I would have never broke up the team. Pay him what y'all the Lakers, man. Pay him whatever he asked for. And it wasn't even nothing drastic that he asked for. The chemistry and what he brought to that team was invaluable. KCP, like, I will never understand. I will never understand why the moves were made by the Lakers in the offseason that they did. You took a championship contending team and made it worse. Made it a 500 team. They're mediocre. It's mediocre right now. We'll see if they pull something off, make some trades, make some moves, get it together. But I don't know. I don't know if I bet on it. I really don't know if I bet on it right now. The Lakers are in a bad place. And, I guess we'll see what happens from there. Other news in the NBA, trying to think. Jay Green is back, dropped 20. Still took a L, which is great for the Rockets. Love to see that. I think they play the Hornets today. A couple of my friends want to go to that, but I'm back here in the 336, as you know. If I was on 704, probably would have, tickets are cheap. Probably would have gone. But, yeah, that was the NBA for the week. Now to head off to entertainment, and, well, not too much to talk about. Spider-Man crossed 1 billion, so congrats to Tom Holland. It's just been... The boy's on fire. The boy's on fire. Similar to me, he's on fire, right? He can't be stopped. Shout out to him, Zendaya, Watts, Marvel did it again. No surprises there. I did finish The Witcher Season 2. And, from the book fans, and I think I have a different perspective. Because my knowledge of The Witcher was, I knew about the games, right? I didn't know exactly what happened in the games because I didn't play it or watch it. But I knew, who Geralt was. I knew who Yennefer was. I knew who Triss was. I've heard of Ciri, right? That was my knowledge going into the series. So the narrative was perfectly fine for me to just kind of openly see. For the book readers and maybe a little bit for the game, game players, it's a little bit different, right? Because they have this prior knowledge of what they expect to happen. It's like those first seasons of Game of Thrones. Or any show that's, been based off of a book, right? And the TV series has taken liberties and changed the storyline to me, doesn't really, nothing really too crazy. There's certain aspects of the show, and also spoiler alert in case you haven't watched The Witcher Season 2. I might have changed or tweaked. But overall, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was a solid season. I'm ready for Season 3, right? Thought it was solid. It was a nice way to set us around, kind of set some things in place in terms of Geralt and Yen's relationship, Geralt and Triss's relationship, Geralt and Ciri, Vesker, Yesker, who was great. Always great. The Bard is great. He's so great. It set things in place, right? Got us ready for the next chapter. But if I understand though, for those book readers or people that played the game or whatever that are disappointed because it differentiated away from what they've believed to be canon, or the story that they love, right? So I completely understand that. I thought it was solid. It's worth the watch. Next up, I started Baki, the anime, so I'll be watching that. A lot of people have been telling me to watch Wheel of Time, so those two are probably next up. And one of these years, I will watch Red Notice. It's been queued up in Netflix for a minute, but I've been watching a lot of No Pixel, if you know me. I probably should post my Twitch report because it's straight No Pixel. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of Twitch, watching a lot of YouTube, and then when I wasn't doing that, I was watching The Witcher. So we've had that. Entertainment. It's been a solid year. Musically, TVs, movies. It was nice to get back. Stuff like Dune, stuff like Spidey, the Marvel TV shows. My favorite show of the year, which was probably Vincenzo. If you're into K-dramas, yeah, it was a good year. Musically, of course, we had the giants like Drake come back with CLB, which was phenomenal. Donda for you Ye fans. The emergence of Dirk into the mainstream for real. Baby continued his hot run. K-Side we had twice. BTS had some smash hits, even though I wouldn't say it was their finest year musically. Everglow, a lot of the young girl groups, aespa, reached the top. So NCT once again came back, did another group project, really established themselves. It's probably that number 2. So yeah, a lot of great stuff in entertainment this year. You guys can tell me what's your best of. That's what you can do in the comments. Let me know what's your favorites in the sports world or the entertainment world. Let me know what your best of was. I really should have brought back At the Buzzer this week, but I wouldn't think about it, and I should have asked my friends what their best of was. But maybe I'll do that next episode. I won't be on a time constraint because I do have somewhere to be after this. Gotta go be a photographer or a videographer at the Coliseum for the basketball tournament. So got that. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that was entertainment for the week. The NFL Week 16. And listen, it's getting down to it. Of course, we only got 2 more weeks after this. We got Week 17 and now we got Week 18, which still feels weird to say. But NFL is heating up. It's heating up. I know it's supposed to be cold. I know it's supposed to be the winter time, but it is heating up. It is getting hot up in this place. We're going to start off with the Titans and the 49ers as they started the week on Thursday. Titans came back from 10 at halftime. Shout out to Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel has proven to be a great hire for the Titans. They moved to 10-5. They were dealing with COVID, had a lot of stuff going on there, but really showed up when it matters. Defense got that fumble on Debo, even though Debo still had a very Debo-esque game. 9 receptions, 159. A.J. Brown, who has struggled this year. A lot of people had him tabbed as one of the great receivers of the future of the league. And it hasn't really been the greatest of years for AJ, but this was probably his best game of the year. 11 receptions, 145, and 1 touchdown. And there's no better time than late here in the season to start peaking and to start getting back in form. So if Brown's back in form, that could really be trouble for anybody the Titans play. And really could really help open up that game as we get closer and closer to seeing if maybe, just maybe, Derrick Henry can come back. But as the Titans will probably make the playoffs. Big developments there. 49ers, 2 picks from Garoppolo. Just one ready. Debo once again, despite as great as he's been for them this year, 2 fumbles, turnovers were costly. Titans got the win. The Packers and the Browns on Christmas Day. And listen, Aaron Rodgers is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we knew this. We knew this. He became the Packers' all-time leading passing touchdown leader on the first touchdown to Allen Lazard. But overall, Rodgers had a great day. 24 for 34, 202, and 3 touchdowns. Devontae Adams. Besides the 2 drops, though, at the end there that were super uncharacteristic and nearly gave the Browns a chance to win the game. Normal Devontae Adams, one of the best receivers in the world, possibly on the planet. 10 receptions, 114, 2 touchdowns. He did his thing. I don't know why the Browns stopped running the ball, averaging 9 yards a carry. I don't know why. Chubb had 126 and a touchdown to go along with 58 yards receiving to go along with that. So I think that's 180-something, 170-something yards total. Going 7.4 yards a carry. Couldn't stop him. Packers' run defense was non-existent. But for whatever reason, the Browns tried to throw too much. And like I've said, listen, even though COVID helped him get a little bit healthier, and I hate it because it's going to reflect back on Baker, but listen, 4 picks cannot happen in a game of this magnitude. Cannot happen in a game of this magnitude. And it's just been a rough season for him. It's been a rough season for anybody in Baker Mayfield's camp. Started off kind of shaky, then got injured. It got real rough, got a little bit better, and now it's back to eh. And just can't have games. If in a contract year, you cannot have games like this in a game this big, on a stage this big, and go for 4 picks. He leads the league in interceptions since he was drafted. I don't know if Baker's going to make it out. And which sucks for Browns fans because looks like he might have to go through the whole quarterback carousel yet again. After thinking Baker was the franchise, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure anymore. However, Packers roll, best record in the league, tops in the NFC. We'll see how they close it out. The Cardinals and the Colts. The Colts took care of business yet again for the second straight week. The Cardinals, false. Just false. They're not it. Frauds. Fraudulent behavior has been detected now 2 weeks in a row for the Cardinals, as they're just simply not what their record said they were. Carson Wentz goes 18 for 28, 225, and 2 touchdowns. Mike Pittman continues to evolve into a top-tier receiver, and at least probably at this point the number 1 receiver, possibly taking over for T.Y. Hilton, which makes that a hell of a combo for Wentz. But of course, if we're talking about the Colts, we got to talk about the man. JT went over 100 yards yet again, leads the league in rushing yards. We'll see where he ends up in terms of MVP candidacy. I think he should be in the conversation. Should he win it? I don't know. But definitely should be in the conversation. He's a big reason why the success has been the way it has been for the Colts. For the Cards, listen, Kyler was not bad. 245, had 74 yards rushing, which was pretty much carried by the 57-yarder. Had a touchdown, but listen, 2 fumbles, recovered both of them. But it's not working. It's not working. Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury has to call a better game. He just does. He does. Now, credit to the Colts defense. Credit to the Colts for getting the win. But the Cardinals have just not been up to par past 2 weeks. And now they've fallen out of the lead of the NFC West. So we'll see if they can get it together and get some of that magic that they had. But it seems like COVID, seems like injuries, seems like the season is starting to wear on the Cardinals, and they're breaking and they're cracking under the pressure. And we'll see where it happens from here. Colts, on the other hand, surging, looking very, very good. The Falcons get the win over the Lions. The Lions couldn't make it happen 2 weeks in a row. But Oloku's last-minute pick was able to get the Falcons over the hump. Kyle Pitts, over 100 yards yet again. Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to blossom into a great receiver. No surprises here. Watched him at Mater Dei. Watched him at USC. Know what it is. That was a great pick. And, Falcons get the win. Lions, you're still contending for the first overall pick. Bengals. Oh, my goodness. The Bengals beat the brakes off the Ravens. 41-21. Joe Burrow seems to always show up when it matters. Always. Saves his best performances for the brightest stage. And I gotta respect that. In the biggest game of the year for the AFC North, between its top two teams, Joe Burrow went out 37 for 46, and the third highest, or is it the fourth? I think it's the fourth highest passing yardage total in a single game in NFL history. 525, 4 touchdowns. T. Higgins was a monster. I mean a monster. 12 receptions, 194, 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 7 receptions, 125. Even Tyler Boyd got in on it. 3 receptions, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. That trio, one of the best receiving corps in the game. Definitely the best young receiving corps in the game. And alongside one of the best young quarterbacks in the game. That's something special the Bengals got coming. And of course, they got Joe Mixon. He had 2 touchdowns in this game. That offense has a lot of upside to be very, very special for a very, very long time. They were cooking the Ravens. They were cooking the Ravens' pass defense. I mean, those defenses had nothing. They had nothing for Burrow. It was like watching him back at LSU. It was utter incomplete, a statement game for the Bengals. An absolute statement game. Now, Johnson had to come in. Huntley, Jackson went down. So you had that for the Ravens. He didn't play bad. Still had Mark Andrews, who did Mark Andrews things. But that defense had nothing for the Bengals, and it was just dominant. Dominant game. Definitely the most impressive performance besides maybe the Cowboys, which we'll talk about. The Rams got the win over the Vikings, 30-23. Justin Jefferson broke OBJ. There was a lot of love between the two LSU receivers, of course, pregame with the shirts. And, of course, Jettis broke Odell's record for most receiving yards within the first 2 seasons of a career. So, yeah, shout out to Jefferson. He had 8 receptions, 116 in this game for those keeping counts. Stafford threw 3 picks, but it didn't matter. It did not matter. Sony Michel continues to play. I mean, he's kind of breaking out a little bit here down the stretch. He's been great. 27 carries, 131, 1 touchdown. Cooper Kupp did Cooper Kupp things, 10 receptions, 109. He's got to be in the MVP race, in my opinion. And I don't really think that should be up for debate. At least Offensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald got a sack here. Rams looking very, very good. They might be a dark horse in terms of Super Bowl candidacy. Got a defense. Of course, they got that offense. OBJ's been a great addition. Had a touchdown in this game. Stafford had an off game yesterday. But that Rams team has definitely got my attention. Definitely got me interested. The Bills took out the Patriots 33-21. Josh Allen was great. 30 for 47. He had, 378 yards total, 3 touchdowns. He was a beast. Isaiah McKenzie, 11 receptions, 125, 1 touchdown, which was a surprise to me because when I was watching, Stephon Diggs was popping all over the field. Diggs had 7 receptions, 85 yards, and of course, telling each of the Patriots individually, telling the fans to shut the up. So, yeah, plenty of stuff there from Diggs. He had a great game. He wasn't the only Diggs that had a great game, of course, this week. Mac Jones. Let's talk about it. Nothing against Mac. Nothing against him. But I tried to tell y'all, man. If he has to be put in a position where he has to be the guy to help win the game, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. With all due respect, it's not going to happen. He's not that guy. At least not yet. I know everybody was singing his praises, but it's like I said all year. Belichick, the GOAT, was doing a great job of putting him in positions to succeed. Put in a position where he needs to be who some of y'all tried to claim he was. He ain't going to be that guy. He's not. 14 for 32, 145 yards, 2 costly picks. Mac had an awful game. Damian Harris tried to pick up the slack, his former Alabama teammate. 103 and 3 touchdowns for Damian Harris. I think he had 28 fantasy points on my bench. But overall, Bills, statement win. Took control of that AFC East again. And yeah, proved that maybe that win the Pats had earlier this year was a little bit of a fluke. Had, the conditions, of course, for that game. Here, a little bit better conditions. On the road, though, Bills still came out, got the win. Shout out to Buffalo. The Jets and the Jaguars, 2 of the worst teams in the league. And the Jaguars completely confirmed themselves as the worst team in the league. It's just dysfunctional. Listen, Trev got to be better. He has to be better in that situation, even though it was just a mess overall in terms of play calling and just what was run throughout that game. Honestly, even though I know why he went out of bounds, I think he could have scored. On that long run, if he cuts back up, I think he can get into the end zone. Now, that gives him 30 seconds, but I'd rather take that 30 seconds than knowing how this Jaguars team is and trying for that goal line stand or try to get it in at the goal line. I wouldn't trust this. I would have took my shot. Because I think he could have got it. Because I've seen him do it before. So, but so close. James Robinson, of course, tore his Achilles. It's just been bad. It's just been a pot of misery for Jaguars fans. On the upside, however, you do get the first pick in the draft probably. Because I don't see y'all winning in these next 2 weeks. So, that's up. Nowhere to... Y'all are at rock bottom. Look, there's nowhere to go but up. You've hit the bottom. This is it. This is as bad as it gets, right? Now you got some very good young players. You got some high potential players. You got to have a really good draft again. I don't know who you should draft because you need everything. But, build from here. Build from here. Zach Wilson probably had his best game of the year naturally against the worst team in the league. Had that long run for a touchdown that was super duper pretty. He also had 14 for 22, 102, and a touchdown. So great game for the number 2 pick. He was able to take down the number 1 pick. And Trev didn't have a bad game, but he needs to be better, especially at the end there. Had to be a little bit better. But nonetheless, Jags lose as expected. Eagles take the win over the Giants 34-10. Jalen Hurts. We had good Jalen Hurts this week. 17 for 29, 199. 2 touchdowns through the air. On the ground, Boston Scott had a touchdown. Devontae Smitty had that great play. Great play. Dude was trending all over Twitter for that one. But yeah, Eagles get the win over the Giants. Keeps himself in the playoff hunt. Buccaneers take down the Panthers, who are also down horrendous currently. They switch between Darnold and Cam. Honestly, Darnold played a little bit better than Cam, and that's not great to say. Bucs got back to business. It's been a little bit shaky, but this was the game to get back on track, and they took advantage. Brady, 232 and a touchdown. Antonio Brown returned for 10 receptions, 101 and a touchdown. Vaughn had that nice run. And the defense completely shut down the Panthers, which hasn't been a tough job this year. But the Bucs able to get the win. Texans completely obliterated the Chargers, and I was confused. And it's another thing. The Chargers, very fraudulent. Very fraudulent. Fraudulent behavior has been detected all year. I've given Jay Herbo the nickname. I've taken it away all year. I got to take it back. You threw 2 picks. 336, nice. 27 for 35, nice. 2 picks against the Texans, unacceptable. The Chargers, y'all gave up 41 points. Y'all made Davis Mills look incredible. 21 for 27, 254, 2 touchdowns. Rex Burkhead even got off. Rex Burkhead. All credit due to Rex. But y'all let Rex Burkhead go off. 22 carries, 149, 2 touchdowns. What happened? Just completely out of left field. A dominant game. Jonathan Owens was all over the field, worked to Simone Biles. It was the most complete game the Texans have played all year. And the Chargers, one of your worst games. A complete embarrassment in Houston. Houston gets the win over LA. We'll see where they go from there, but that was just ugly. The Bears take down the Seahawks late. Jameer Byrd, I don't know how he got that in bounds. All credit due to him, but I don't know how he got that in bounds. All credit, like I said. Great play. Nick Foles goes for 250 and a touchdown. Monty did a little bit of everything in this game. Russ wasn't bad, but he wasn't elite Russ. Only 181 yards, did have 2 touchdowns. Rashard Penny had another great game, though, 135 and 1 touchdown. So you got that up. That's good. That's improvement. But Bears were able to get it done. Some late magic from Foles, and they were able to get to win. The Chiefs, the Steelers, I would make fun of the Steelers fans in my life, but y'all been through enough this year. So, good luck in the future. Maybe y'all really do draft Kenny Pickett and y'all get y'all franchise quarterback after Ben, because y'all gonna need it, man. Y'all gonna need it. Ben had another washed week. Pat Mahomes, on the other hand, was doing Pat Mahomes stuff all game. 23 for 30, 258, and 3 touchdowns. From the guy who many believe is the best player on the planet. But Pringle had the game of his life. 6 receptions, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. In particular, that one drive where he had like 4 of those receptions. Dude was unguardable. That one possession ended it with a touchdown. He was the guy from Mahomes with Tyreek Hill not doing much. Travis Kelce out. Did not matter. Chiefs defense dominant for yet another week. They've seemingly got it together. And the Steelers just, they had nothing. They had nothing for them. Nothing for them. Raiders get the win over the Broncos 17-13. Derek Carr, not a bad game. Drew Lock, not a bad game. But defensive battle, Raiders defense was better. That's all it was. Came down to some field goals. Raiders were able to get it done, hold on, and get the win. And in the game I really want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys clinched the NFC East after we also eliminated the Washington football team, our chieftain rival, from playoff contention. It was a glorious Sunday night as we won 56-14. Dak Prescott looked like Dak Prescott again. My boy went 28 for 39, 330, and 4 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott went crazy. He had 2 touchdowns. Let's see. Yeah. One on the ground, 1 through the air. Amari Cooper got in the box. Malik Turner got in the box. Dalton Schultz got in the box. Hell, Terrence Steele got in the box. It was a wonderful time. And that's not even to include the fact that Trevon Diggs got his franchise record tying 11th interception of the year. He basically ran that route on the first play of the game, by the way, for Terry McLaurin. It was a great great ball by Tyler Heineke to Trevon Diggs. He gets the pick. DeMarcus Lawrence with the picks. It was, the defense was amazing. It was amazing. Lawrence, pick 6, fumble recoveries for a touchdown. We did it all. We did it all. It was one of the greatest games as a Cowboys fan I've ever watched. One of the best games I've ever seen us play. It was phenomenal. It brought a tear to my eye. Okay? It was absolutely beautiful display of American football, and I love it. I love it for us. I really do. I love it for us. I'm not going to sip the Kool-Aid and say we're winning the Super Bowl, but like I said, we're contenders. I'll let this team hurt me. If they play like this, I'll let them hurt me. I'm ready to be hurt if this is what we are. But for now, as I end off this week and end off this segment, how about them Cowboys? And to end off episode 73 and the last episode of 2021, let's talk about the college football playoff where we have reached the Roundup. So let's talk about the college football playoff, as that is on Friday, I believe. Bama versus Cincinnati. Hopefully there's no COVID, by the way. A lot of bowl games getting canceled. Please, football gods, nothing happened to the playoff. We need this. We need this. Cincinnati, Bama, man. I think it's going to be a lot more interesting than people expect. I really, really do. I want to see how that Cincinnati secondary, which is probably as good as you can get in terms of cornerbacks, does against Jameson Williams, a guy who many believe is the best receiver in the country. At the very least, the most dangerous receiver in the country. So him and Bryce Young versus Kobe Bryant and, of course, Sauce Gardner should be very, 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 very interesting. Western Michigan, which is, if you see me looking at that, the Western Michigan-Nevada game, speaking of bowl games, is going on, and they just took the kick return for a touchdown. That was great. So, live commentary here. But, yeah, playoff, Bama, Cincinnati. Let me know who you got. Michigan, Georgia. Honestly, I think Michigan. I'm feeling Michigan. I'm really feeling Michigan. After whatever Georgia put on the floor against Alabama, they've left such a bitter taste in my mouth. I think Michigan takes it. Defense is just about as good as Georgia's. And they got to start Stetson Bennett again, which is not good news since JT got COVID. So, good luck to UGA. Maybe you get redemption and get, second matchup possibly against Bama. Or you choke again. You choke in a big game yet again. I can't even say it's the Georgia sports curse because the Braves handle business. It's just y'all. It's just you at this point. It's just you. We'll see what happens. Let me know how you think the college football playoff plays out. But we got the semis this week. And, of course, in hockey, actually, we got the World Juniors going on. Former number 1 overall pick last year, Owen Powers of the Buffalo Sabres, but currently of Michigan. Playing for Team Canada, I think he's captaining as well. Had the first hat trick for a defenseman in World Juniors history. So, and for those that don't know, World Juniors is like all the best young players come together for a tournament. And it's by country: Canada, USA, Czech Republic, so on and so forth, Russia. Got some really big names. Power, of course, for Canada. Also for Canada, prospective number 1 overall pick this coming year, Shane Wright. You've also got potentially a generational prospect in Connor Bedard. He's on that Crosby, on that McDavid Gretzky type loop for a lot of people. So Bedard also in this game. I think he's the youngest player on the team. Also, his 2023 counterpart for Russia, Matvey Michkov, another guy a lot of people very, very high on. A lot of Ovi comparisons there for Michkov. He's playing for Russia. Who else? America, reigning champs. We'll see if we can defend it. We got Maddie. We got Jake. So still got those 2 from the team. Got some good young players as well. But Canada definitely probably the favorites, and especially after this game against the Czech Republic, 163 in the opener. But we'll see. That's World Juniors, and that was Day 15 Exchange for 2021. Hope you guys had a great year. I've enjoyed doing this for the past 53 weeks in a year it is, or is it 54? Either way, I've enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure, whether I've had a guest, whether it's been me, whether we've been in the 704, whether we've been here in the 336, whether we've been at this desk, a blue couch, a brown couch, or in an office. It's been a pleasure. I love doing this. Of course, this is the foundation of this channel. It's not going away. And here's to even greater things happening next year for what should be a very, very special 2022. But hope you guys had 2021. Like I said, leave me what you think your best of 2021 was, what your favorite moments. Doesn't even have to be from my channel, just in general. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. For one last time here for 2021, Ocho, signing off.